looks like it looks like we are casting the losers bracket. We're gonna be casting eiSloth versus Shaggy.
Okay, let me bring
Which
up
means Phoenix
these
beat Shaggy, it looks like.
lists.
No, they didn't play. Bushy beat Shaggy. And Mayamon beat eiSloth. Oh man.
Yes!
Mayamon keep going.
Eventually we'll get to cast the Mayamon game. Okay, so I have eiSloth's list up here.
Also, I've now shut off my living room light, as it is now light enough outside to see what is happening in this room.
Okay. Let me know when you got the lists up. We've got Overwhelming Hunger, Imperial Formation, Uprising, and Second Wind from eiSloth. eiSloth qualifying with a 4-3 day one record.
So just eking by.
Yeah.
All right, I am pulling up the list now.
Yeah, so his Overwhelming Hunger list is playing Oberon, Red Riders to pull out a Winter Queen that is not in his list. So he's just playing 2 Red Riders for value. Oh, no, that is the Winter Queen. There we go. I see it now. I thought I was going crazy.
Sorry, you have eiSloth list.
Yeah,
up
I have
first?
eiSloth up first. He is
Okay,
playing
I've got it
Devotion,
up.
so he's got the Conquerors. He's playing double Naglfar's crew. He does not have the Werecat for Row Punish. So there is...
So this is interesting. He also doesn't have I mean, I don't know how often this is actually played in these lists, but with 2 Naglfar's crew, I kind of would have expected Aridin.
True.
But no Aridin.
No Aridin.
So yeah, he's playing Overwhelming Hunger with basically the three targets presumably being Maruna, Dettlaff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the option to do something like, oh, he's got an Endrega Warrior as well, so he could do something like Eat and not be out of
Endrega Warrior and the
out of
Bargus.
consumes. Oh, I didn't even see the Bargus. Yeah, that too. How do you feel about this? What do you think?
I didn't play it with Overwhelming Hunger. I played some similar lists that just played like Red Riders to get Winter Queen out of deck. It was alright. The lack of Row Punish, especially with open deck lists, seems a little bit questionable, but it's been working out for eiSloth, so
yeah,
hopefully it continues.
I definitely am interested in how people brew Wild Hunt.
Yeah.
I've seen lists kind of like this, but yeah, like you said with the Werecat before, that seemed pretty decent. I'm curious to see how it stacks up in this tournament. As this deck does have a decent amount of vulnerabilities, and like you said, there's no Row Punish. But certainly like Maruna is a very high impact card that can potentially swing games.
Definitely.
So curious to see if Maruna makes any big showings here. And then I guess next up we got Imperial Formation.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
It's playing. So what are the new cards here? We've got Usurper, we've got Brothans. We are playing Ramen for the new Empire Enforcers and the Double Crossbowmen. I think we've seen similar lists yesterday, playing the small Spies package just alongside Master Great Ball.
This does look a lot like the list that Saber was tossing around.
Mm-hmm. Double Arbalists, double Fangs, yeah.
So here are some soldiers, here is some poison, here are some spies.
Yeah. A lot of potential value to get with the Fergus and Usurper, all those cards, double proc, the Thirsty Dame off ball, double proc your Enforcers, all that kind of fun stuff. Next up, we got this Uprising list playing War Elephants. How many War Elephants have you seen?
Yes, so many, because I'm playing a deck very similar to this.
Yeah, we got War Elephant, we got Varaxis, we've got Anses.
Yeah, this is a Devotion deck. You got 2 Carrack Marines and no Accidental Bomb Heaver. Reinforcements, I guess, is probably getting either a drummer or a frigate. Definitely not as like a sort of impactful as it might be in a Caravan or like a drug list with Caravan Vanguard.
He's playing the Talus, so it could just be another target for that.
I mean, he's got 3 targets already, so I wouldn't expect he's usually falling short. But I like this list. It has good answers. It has really high point ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And it has probably the best Varaxis target outside of Baron, which it also has.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got good round 1 power. It's got good round 3 power. It is a little susceptible to bleeding, is the only thing.
We do
Although it
have
can
the
be hard to
bans.
push.
Yeah, both players have banned Skellige, so we can ignore the Skellige here, and we should probably
Hell yeah.
look at Shaggy's lists before we end up in the game. So
Yeah.
Shaggy here brought Rocket Swarm, Strategic Withdrawal, Second Wind, and Uprising.
And I think this is almost the no, it's not quite identical, but it's very close to the list that we just saw.
Mm-hmm.
That Unforgiven was playing. This one is playing Noon Wraith instead of a second Night Wraith. And it's only running one Drago Warrior. It also has the Apiarian Phantom,
Mm-hmm.
and there's something that isn't there as a result, but I'm not sure what.
Yeah, something. But yeah, should play pretty similar to the list that we just saw. Next up, we've got
Yep.
the Strategic Withdrawal list, which looks pretty similar to the one we just saw from the previous opponent.
Somewhat. I mean, it is withdrawal, so there are a couple card differences.
True,
It's
yeah,
also
yeah.
running double amnesty, which is a little
Ooh.
unusual, and an Alba Spearman for more soldier stuff, along with an Ardfane Tortoise for perhaps a little more proactivity, so that you don't have to,
We
open
know
with
how
an
that goes. We
Arbalest.
know how that goes.
Now withdrawal as an ability is considerably more bleedable than Imperial Formation, but has a much higher long round ceiling, I think, because of things such as open Ramona to Enforcer, Bounce Ramon,
Mm-hmm.
which can often lock your opponent out of the game if they are any kind of like engine based deck.
Yeah,
In the
lots of
mirror,
damage.
it's so huge. So definitely curious to see how this works out for Shaggy. Just a couple of interesting card choices, and the choice to bring withdrawal over formation is interesting.
What do you think the amnesties are for? Is it mostly just NR? It gives you a bunch of targets?
I think so, but also because he's playing a bunch of like random damage, like off of the Arbalest or like pings from the soldiers or the Impera Enforcers. It might be that he's just hoping to capitalize on even like grabbing the opponent's Impera Enforcer, which can be game winning,
True.
or like, uh, yeah, depending on what other decks he's expecting to see. Like you said, NR is perhaps a big one. I can't imagine that like Monsters is going to give him that many great targets. Although maybe just yoinking and Drago Larvas are good enough.
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, we have this Uprising list playing Draug, AA, and Neuromancy. On the top end, we've got Frigates and Vanguards yet again. Mostly, is this identical to a list that we saw?
Unforgivens? I believe so, yeah. I
Yeah.
think that I think they, like, there's been a lot of lists passed around Team Arteza, and I think the drag list was one that a number of players liked for this tournament, although I think most of them don't like it as much now having played it in this tournament.
Oh no. Okay. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Draug is a kind of big card that has a lot of both counterplay and points potentially, so I guess it kind of depends on how prepared players are to face Draug.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we should be getting into the games any minute. Seems like most of the
Yeah,
invites have
let me
gotten
just
sent out. Still waiting
ping
for
the Subi.
ours. Yeah. So again, both players
Oh,
banned
did Phoenix
SK.
drop? I'm gonna just check the bracket real quick. Yeah, it seems that Phoenix dropped after his round one,
Oh no.
which is a little sad.
Oh.
But that does mean Sumo has advanced another round, in the losers bracket. Paja and Beardy are now facing off. Gravish and Akalahucha, and then the one we're facing off. And these are the people who are on the chopping block right now. Everyone else is still in the winners bracket, so they're currently safe.
Yeah, the
I
match
don't
we are
know
watching
why.
now is for Tournament Lives.
I don't know why Phoenix dipped though.
He might have just been busy. I don't know.
Um.
Lost round one, doesn't want to grind the losers
Oh,
bracket.
yeah. He just said, "I think I will drop. I can't take 6 more best of 5s."
It's long. It's gonna be a long
It is
day.
gonna be a long day. Yeah. So I'll be pretty curious to see how this plays out. It is a long losers bracket. I can definitely understand not wanting to keep going.
Definitely. But yeah, we are going to be seeing both SK Band. We've got Shaggy on the red coin, I believe. Yes.
Oh,
And again, just
yes.
waiting to get these invites, and we'll hop right into the game.
Okay. Oh, is Specimen solo casting today?
I'm not sure, is he?
No, maybe he just was the only one pinged.
Oh.
I was like, oh, was he pinged Paja, Beardy, and Specimen, but not Lionheart? But that's okay, cool. So he says invites are out. So I'm gonna just
Okay,
take a
well,
glance.
hopefully.
I guess it takes a second to show up.
Yep. This Mayamon's wildcard list. Mayamon's wildcard list is a thing of beauty. Much like his NR list.
Are these invites out?
I don't know. I'm
gonna give it another minute, but
oh, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know exactly how the invite system works, but it does look like it takes a couple of seconds to go through.
Sometimes some of them have been just immediate, but yeah, that one took a little bit.
Maybe it does like some sort of queue system.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, you know, it takes a little bit of time for the request to get made. I haven't done that much with like actually like sending requests across games, so can't tell you exactly how it works. But
there's a bunch of different ways
trying to make
it.
multiplayer work in a game I've been making.
Oh.
But yeah.
You know about a URCG, right?
Yeah,
okay.
I do know about it. So you've definitely been dealing with plenty of this shit. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's you learn a lot.
Yeah, like I feel like the fact that I do like web development definitely helps with that kind of stuff. But certainly it is not a trivial task.
Yeah, so we are getting into game 1 of Shaggy versus eiSloth. Carefully pressing the F4 key to flip the board.
The classic draw a fun. Yes, careful F4. Oh, I am not tabbed in. Careful F4. Yeah, we're seeing the classic draw and a fun, mulligan and a fun strategy.
Always good.
So Shaggy queuing his Spy Nilfgaard on blue, confident that he does have proactive plays. And in fact, we see a Magnet Division in hand. We've got the Lamp Joust in case the Magnet Division goes south, which it probably will.
Yep.
Oh, actually the natural selection was mulliganed.
Interesting.
Oh, sorry, Shaggy is not on the bottom. That's eiSloth. I was confused.
Yeah, okay. So, eiSloth. Proactivity. We've got it. Forcers, let's go.
Hold up. So that means, well, I guess, actually, no, that does make some sense. I was going to say, are you telling me he values Enforcers over his Magnet, or his Magnet Division over his Enforcers this round? Yeah. But actually, that makes plenty of sense. One of them grows a point every turn, and one of them does not.
Yep.
And it is going to eat the parasites, so
yeah.
He has now cleared the way for removal. Although Magnet Division does play actually a little bit into the Beast. Which, looking at Shaggy's hand, he didn't actually have a lot of ways to activate. So now the question is, how many points are we slamming?
We've got a lot of points to slam. Just about what he's willing to commit into Ritcoin here. He did mulligan natural selection, so presumably that means he wants to play this a little aggressively. Yeah, and just guns the Ethereal down.
With the and with the Arrakis Nest there, he can have Ethereals running even after he passed, which is pretty huge.
Yeah. Very powerful card.
The Beast will be a little bit online, so.
Yeah, and once the Beast is online, we've got 3 points per turn and then 2 points per turn on the Beast.
Well, Beast will be like 2 points every turns or something.
Cancels with the Magnet Division. We can put it that way.
Yeah. It roughly keeps up.
eiSloth does have this Mystic Lamp, though. He's got 5 free points at the start of the game to make keeping up with his tempo a little bit easier. Decides to get this Crossbowman down and flip the Lamp into the Lamp Gen. Magni grows and we are back to Shaggy. What will
So this
he commit?
Arrakis Nest does in fact tempo ahead.
Yeah.
The Beast, on the other hand, only tempos ahead if he's willing to use leader charge.
Yep.
So he does opt for the Arrakis Nest. I guess the Beast, it's not like the Beast is really like getting worse.
Yeah, Nest plays for
And
11
the
tempo
Nest
in this
even
deck.
spawned the extra Arrakis on the same row. Look at that talent, folks.
Very, very skilled. eiSloth with just playing more bronzes.
Classic ploy.
Yeah, under these ethereals, it's might get tough.
Yeah. Now eiSloth does play at least one hunter, right? Yeah, so there is a threat of a lock, which means purifying this ethereal is quite dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of purifying the ethereal, a lot of his other plays are pretty much just playing the beast or slamming a ton of points.
Yeah, he's got to run a balance between committing too much and not playing his engines early enough, and then being forced to commit even more.
True. Although it does look like he's approached a potential pass here. Now, eiSloth going down 2 cards while he's on 4 cards in hand isn't a big deal. So it is possible, or is rather probable, that Shaggy does want to push this at least a little bit further.
Yeah, I assume he's gonna play another card here. Be pretty crazy if we didn't see another card played.
Yeah.
It's just which
I guess
card?
it could be the Taskmaster potentially to get rid of the bleeding. The lock isn't enough of a threat anymore.
Well, he doesn't have dominance, so
Lacerate
he can't purify his own board.
Oh, you are correct. Wow, I forget that's how that works.
Yeah, it's the opposite of Sappers.
So eiSloth concedes the round on 5 cards, meaning that he is forcing a push if he's actually going to go down in cards.
Yeah.
And Shaggy wins the round on even.
I assume that Shaggy wanted to push anyway. It's not too big of a deal, but
yeah. And Shaggy has drawn the pushing cards.
But yeah. I mean, he's missing a Paragon Phantom. He doesn't have a Neuromancy yet. A Neuromancy is one of the best pushing cards.
True. If he draws a Neuromancy, I mean, that is the nuts, as they say.
Uh-oh, I have an Afan just hovering on my board. Oh, there we go.
Oh, he's gone.
That was scary.
He's not coming back.
Hopefully not this round.
The adrenaline rush. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard to imagine a world in which Shaggy doesn't just slam like 30 points in 3 cards and get out.
There's a lot of tempo. And this Amnesty, what is this Amnesty doing?
Nothing.
Yeah.
In short. There's not even it's not even safe to play like Roderick because you can't guarantee the invocation by any means, and winding up hitting like Fergus Cupbearer would be just disastrous.
Yikes. So yeah, the Ramana deck at least has Imperant Forces in the hand. Looks like we're just leading off on this Wispus Adrenaline Rush.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Informs you also on where you want to play your Egern, so that you can Adrenaline Rush again.
Yep. Now this drone go into the right location.
I would say classic drone, but it's only for this game that has really been classic. Yeah, we'll have to see how this shakes out, but this does look really good for Shaggy.
Yeah, this is where he wants to be. Didn't have to commit too much into round 1, and got the potential to bleed. We'll see.
Yeah, and of course, bleeding a Masquerade Ball deck does generally give you a much better position.
Definitely, especially if you can, even if you can't force out the ball, even if you can just force out the aristocrats.
Wow, now that is an aggressive maneuver.
Yeah, he knows he needs the points.
Instantly tempoing ahead so that he doesn't fall behind on cards, but that is going to be a difficult pace to maintain.
Yeah. Yep, just takes the Adrenaline Rush, 9-point card.
However, that 9-point card happens to be vulnerable to Vincent, which is probably what we're going to see.
Yep. Not getting any better. Now, how many How many aristocrats do we have left? We've got Roderick, we've got Van Morlham Hunter in deck, and
Fergus.
And Fergus. We've got 3 aristocrats left.
Yeah, if he draws ball, however, and uses a fawn, he presumably he's got at least a 50-50 shot of doing both aristocrats in the same turn with Roderick.
Yeah, that's fair. But if this Roderick needs to get the ball, it could be in a scary spot.
Yep. So
There's
we do
also
see Egern drop now, and now we've got to see something like Brothens or Bribery. I mean, this is just so much tempo.
Yeah,
we still got the Imlerith if we want to play it this round. Like, eiSloth is already burned 2 of his biggest cards and is looking to have to burn another.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't even know what Brothens does. Whoa, rolls the Egern. Alright, that is pretty big.
I mean, this can just get Wrathed, but...
Yeah, I think we're probably going to see a Wrath before this round is done.
Yeah, no easy way to answer that. It does force out the Wrath.
Of course, if he does Wrath, again, it's probably like forcing a Brothens or something.
Yep, we were in the same position as last turn, just trading Bribery for Wrath.
AP for 8P. That's a fair deal. He could also play, I don't know, maybe play like Enforcer and commit 2 leader charges, but that's a pretty big commitment too. There aren't small commitments anymore.
Yeah, the problem with Enforcer is the Ramen in your deck, it's so much worse. You just have to like find your Crossbowman or your Dython Arbalest.
Yeah. I mean, eiSloth could if he want. Yeah, he's gonna take the Brothens.
Gotta take the Brothens.
I was gonna say he could try and roll the Roderick for the God Invocation.
Just for the Emissary.
The Emissary is another 1 for Glusty.
This is true.
In case that's happening this round. Or a 1 for Imlerith, if that's our option. I mean, looking at what eiSloth is playing, Shaggy's got to figure that he can get as much as he wants out of him.
Yeah, just keep playing cards. He did win uneven.
He opts not for the Imlerith, it looks like, holding 1 leader charge for Imlerith next round and just drops the giant Glusty. Wow, 18-point Glusty, putting eiSloth 15 points in the hole.
It was a 12-point Glusty.
Or, sorry.
He lost.
Well, Glusty is at 18, and I can't do math. He puts him 14 points in the hole. Assuming, he doesn't want to do a Beardy FF. So there comes the Imperial Enforcer, which...
Well,
that does threaten to kill the Egern, actually.
Oh, true. Okay.
That's actually a really good Enforcer.
Yeah, so this in Joust works. No answer to this Enforcer. What is the follow-up?
You just jam Imlerith and hope for the best.
Yeah, this just got rough.
Yeah.
How much short rounds does he have
armor,
left?
just not enough.
He's got Imlerith, he's got Goliath, and he's got Azrael. And he has an Aeromancy to try to hold everything together.
I guess so.
Huh? Yeah, just takes the pass.
Take the pass. Now, I'm pretty curious to see how this last round plays out. This, like Ramon, like you said, could be pretty awkward. We're also seeing that, like, aside from Masquerade Ball, there isn't a lot that's like super impactful left. There's an Invocation, but he doesn't have Last Say.
Masquerade Ball's even not that impactful. There's a Bomb Heaver.
Because there's a Bomb Heaver, yeah. And he does find the ball. Shaggy, on the other hand, does not find his Azrael or his Goliath. At least not yet. But has a pretty good chance of drawing one of them. He also has a Veil unit, which might be kind of hard to deal with. Oh! Oh no! eiSloth molt into the Afon!
I have it bugged where there's an Afon by the deck, and there's an Afon in the hand.
Oh man. I thought you were about to say you had like a command that like has to do with whenever people mull into Uthon.
Just like emphasizing that, hey, there's an Afon here.
Multi natural
Oh, it's not
selection.
going
What's
away
the
this
other?
time. It's just chilling.
Oh joy.
This is perfect.
He's just like, yeah, you guys remember when this guy showed up?
Yeah, look, this is what the game is about now. There's this Afon, and it's not leaving.
Anyways, here's Heaver.
Yeah, this is
Although, no, I mean, you definitely take the Heaver first. I was gonna say there's an argument to be made for killing the Dame instead, because it's not like he can poison the. Well, I guess he can poison the one,
yeah, you can
but
poison the drone, but you just yeah, I don't know. How big are you expecting this Dame to get, right?
not to mention you can always kill it with Phantom next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, watch your heads.
Yep, cards still around. Still heaving
Fight
bombs.
Man, what does eiSloth do?
Sad Fergus. Oh.
Like he's got 8 points to Shaggy's 1, but Shaggy's got a card. Shaggy's got this giant Imlerith, and this Roderick can pull like I don't know 5 points. So he chooses to hold the Phantom. I guess there isn't really a reason to rush it. Finds his Van Morleham's Cupbearer.
Yep.
Which
This just gets purified as he has dominance. Maybe not.
I mean he could also just eat it.
Yeah, sure. You can eat it, you can use
looking
Phantom.
at one card in eiSloth's hand, he can be fairly confident that it doesn't beat eating this.
Yeah, he beats I guess he like beats Invo anyway.
Yeah. Does he beat Invo?
I assume if he's going
18
for this
points?
line instead of like Phantom Ping Purify.
Yeah, he has more than 18 points. It's got like 22 or something. Anyways, here's a random poison. Hope you don't have Ozreal or Imlerith or a Neuromancy or Goliath. Yeah, that's a rough time. Drawing that up on instead of an actual card is not great.
Oh, he's considering the Phantom now. Yeah. Huh.
Oh, it's Shaggy's turn. Wow, I definitely thought it was eiSloth's turn.
So deciding to respect Invo. Huh. Yeah, interesting. I don't know.
Well, that's that.
I guess he like did the math after and realized he wanted to. I'm sure he's playing around something, but
Yeah.
anyway.
He's probably just like, if I don't know if Invo beats me, but it's the only thing that has a chance, so I might as well burn it.
I suppose.
Cool, so that brings it to 1-0 for Shaggy. His Nilfgaard list is now through. Oh, sorry, not Shaggy's Nilfgaard. His Arrakis Swarm.
Yeah.
Much easier run than Unforgiven had with his, where it nearly cost him the entire series.
Yeah, unfortunate.
So now he needs to win with his strategic withdrawal ball and Uprising.
And we've got the
he will
next
be on
invite.
blue, so I imagine that he's going to be bringing the Uprising. Whereas eiSloth being on red now could be bringing his Overwhelming Hunger. Could be just jamming that same Imperial Formation deck.
Yeah, we have been seeing a bunch of monsters on red and a bunch of NR on blue, so we'll see if that pattern continues.
Fair. I mean, when you've got Andrega Larva, Red Riders, Winter Queen, you can tempo ahead of a lot of things.
That is a cute package.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Red Riders.
That's how I cheese so many wins with that double Oberon nonsense.
Red Riders just make so much more sense than the Echo card.
Yeah. I kind of like the Echo card, but I don't like playing.
What is it I fancy today?
So yeah, we are going to see NR on blue and monsters on red. With the Red Riders, two Naglfar's Crews, one Naglfar's Crews and an Andrega Larva. That is a pretty scary red coin hand for eiSloth here.
Yeah, he's got the Red Riders.
He's running Karanthier. Does he have the consume? I guess he probably has enough consumes for all of his stuff. And I guess you can always copy like Phantom or... Wait a minute.
There's no beast.
There's no beast.
Huh.
This is unprecedented.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't realize we were looking over the deck list. This Karanthier.
Yes, I just assumed it was there.
The Karanthier is mostly just for either Detlaf or Phantom?
Could be Maruna as well.
True. But there's not many consumes in this list. There's the 3 from the leader, and then he has 2 bronzes.
That's why I was thinking. I was just like, is there enough? Maybe. Gonna just jam that frigate. It's gonna be pretty hard to deal with. And it also makes Maruna a lot more awkward.
Yeah. Definitely don't want to play a frigate at 4 in this matchup. That's
No. I imagine we see what, like the Kara Cutler come down? Or maybe just like a TA'd Radovitz Royal Guard to keep everything away from Maruna.
Yeah,
armor on everything.
The longer you play around the Maruna, the more likely the volunteers are to mess with the Maruna too. Because you don't get to target with the Maruna. It doesn't take the highest enemy unit.
They're like, hey man, I'll go to the enemy team.
Yeah.
I volunteer for that.
Just overwhelm it with 2s, make the Maruna bad. Definitely an awkward card with open deck lists. Yeah, Shaggy, thinking about his options here. Just decides taking the Thalabor, willing to commit an expensive gold.
Yeah, that's that's not the action of a chill player.
Yeah, that is.
Shaggy has no chill.
That is aggressive.
He streamed for 24 hours and he is done with this nonsense.
We see Naglfar's crew coming down, not triggering the Endrega Larva because it has 1 base power. One of the more awkward interactions.
Yeah, how do you feel about Naglfar's crew? Like, my instinct is to say it's no good, but...
I'm not a huge fan.
I'm seeing a double Naglfar's crew.
Yeah, we're seeing it here. It's been working out for him.
Alright, are we going to see a bold Maruna? Brave Maruna.
Man, this Maruna is
got
so
a 1 in
sad.
3 of not getting something terrible.
Yeah.
Yep, we're seeing a brave Maruna.
Oh my god. It's so sad.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's
and it gets the 66%.
That's the expected result.
Yeah. Well, that's rough.
It would be rough if the Royal Guards got seized.
Sure, it's rough for eiSloth that he didn't roll the 33%.
Man, we're just gonna call everything... Like, is it just rough when I go for something and try to high roll my opponent, and I miss my high roll?
Yeah, it's rough when you bribery and don't find oak, no matter what your opponent is.
I guess I have a very different approach to you, to how I think about randomness.
So I was checking my headphones. I think I probably do need to plug them in. They need to last a long time today.
Shaggy
doesn't like disable them somehow.
Playing out the Mauler. Red Rider's coming down now that Shaggy has committed to the melee row. Winter Queen pops out of the deck. You got the
Doesn't
Frost
tempo ahead, but I don't even know if Shaggy cares to pass. He looks like he's in for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah, he jammed Thalabor early. He wants to play.
Yeah, I mean, getting last say here would be pretty nice. Getting that extra Baron stuff. He's got Draug, so forcing a long round pretty much means he should be set.
Yeah, I would assume so. What's the scaling out of this Wild Hunt deck? There's no Aridin, so there's Thrive and Phantom.
Yeah, you get Oberon as well to buff up a couple of things, but
sure.
He's not running enough Wild Hunt for that to be like too huge, I think.
Yeah.
Fall overboard and I'm not jumping in after you.
Goes for the Royal Guards. It gets the armor to potentially 50-50 for the frost damage.
He is now a bunch of points up. And we can see that eiSloth does not actually have Egern. He can slam a couple points with Goliath and the Conqueror, but it is a pretty large point gap.
Yeah.
Opts for
Goes
the
for
Wild
this.
Cruiser. I guess
Fills
just to
up
play
the
the
back
Wild
row a bit.
Bruiser.
Makes the
Sure.
frigate get a little less value.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice formation on this cutthroat.
Yep. Now has enough guys melee or range to use his Temple Guard on either. And enough volunteers to get a pretty good Voimir.
Yeah. It's
Fitting gift for our king.
looking pretty good. Not running out of plays at all.
Yeah, whereas eiSloth on the other hand has Goliath. He can play his other cards, but it's just not that much of a reason to want to play Wrath or Maruna.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, no payoff for all these boosts. If he plays this Voimir, it's not like there's a Scytheman or a Visigored in his hands to really
Or
reward
a
him.
Scytheman in his deck.
Oh, not even Scytheman.
Apparently.
Oh, wow.
I just looked at that.
Interesting.
Maruna now capping out at 3. Not ideal.
Yeah.
There's also only 1 Thrive left on the Winter Queen. And 2 Bleeding Ticks left, so the point gap is pretty significant here.
Just gets the Brooksa down. Enables the Maruna to thrive, potentially.
Let's see. So does Goliath actually overtake now? He's 1 point closer, so Goliath overtakes by 1, I think.
That's playing for 12, net 1
then,
bleed. So 13, yeah.
Yeah. So it is basically Voimir or eiSloth will take it and probably bleed. Although Shaggy could resist this bleed pretty effectively. The Adalia into Caravan Vanguards is probably more tempo than anything outside of Egern that we're likely to see, or Osriel, I guess.
Yeah. Looks like
But he does
Shaggy
opt for
decided
Voimir.
for the Voimir.
Play that 10-point card for 7.
Makes sense to
With a bunch
me.
of armor.
Why risk the bleed? Bleeds get a little chaotic.
Yeah.
Now it becomes a little bit scarier. We've got to start committing a Dahlia, which makes our Caravan Vanguards a lot worse. But I imagine if we were willing to play the Voimir, we're gonna keep going here.
You think so?
I feel like you just don't want to let this deck win round 1.
That might be so, yeah. And I believe Maruna gets ahead by 1, which he knows that gets ahead by 3 actually, because it has to be consumed.
Yeah, and he knows about the
leading
Maruna.
charge. And he knows about it for a fact, so
Yeah.
he knows that he probably wins, or at least forces him to play both Egern and Maruna if he plays Adalia.
Mm-hmm.
But is Adalia more valuable to him than either of those? Let's see what he decides.
Yeah, definitely.
He does also still have
decision point.
Amphibious Assault coming back next.
True. He's really considering. Nah, just decides to take the pass. Okay.
Interesting.
So
This
the
does
Maruna's
mean, of
gonna
course,
take-
that eiSloth pretty much has no leader. He has
True.
potentially 7 points on a Deadlaugh, and that is it. Because you against NR, you pretty much never want to eat the Egern with your leader,
Yeah.
unless you just really enjoy getting like a 15-point Baron in your face.
Yeah, or you're giving him another Baron somewhere else, and it just doesn't matter.
Right.
But yeah. I agree with you.
So I kind of imagine Shaggy's mostly just keeping this hand. Like the carrot cut there, it seems like a good thing to just throw away. Nope, he is throwing it away early. Gets the Temple Guard, throws that away. Let's see what he got.
The monster
He's got a
deck has
Neuromancy.
all
Oh,
of
a
its scaling
Neuromancy.
cards.
That is exactly what you want as your throwaway card.
Nice.
Wow. He's in a perfect position to resist the push, or
Yeah.
to just throw away a card anyways. All right.
Yeah, we got Larvas coming down. This is a weird push here.
Yeah, this is a pretty dicey push.
I mean, you gotta do it, but man. Ugh.
Yeah. Ugh, indeed.
It's the only word I have. Ugh. Yep. You get the frigate, and... Ugh.
I guess you can Oneiromancy for another soldier. I was like, what's this frigate gonna do? But yeah, you can get either Mauler or Temple Guard or something.
Getting the Red Riders
Okay.
going.
Get that 7 points. Maybe
Could be
less.
worse.
Who knows? Actually, I guess there aren't any ways for him to give armor from his deck. Presumably this is the Oneiromancy for a soldier.
Yeah. Which soldier becomes the question.
Yeah. I have to imagine it's either Temple Guard or Aedirnian Mauler. Maybe the Guard just to have more boosted units?
Yeah. Temple
In case,
Guard being
like, for
immediate
whatever reason
value
you need
and
to.
not, like, getting moved by Oberon into Bruiser is pretty convenient.
Yeah. Comes Phantom for 8 points plus Thrive value.
Yep. And here... Man, does this Oberon even push ahead? Is this a Dahlia Caravan?
Oberon probably gets ahead. A Dahlia Caravan with a shielded caravan on melee seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Because this Red Riders is not getting great value this round.
Not at all. Presumably, we do all of this melee to prevent the Bruiser from moving the Adalia into the Frost. And we obviously want the shielded Caravan. Oh, it just goes for the Drought.
Goes
Okay.
for Draug. Interesting.
Besides that the
Figures
Drought
that
isn't
he
gonna
could
be as
just-
good.
Yeah. Tempo out next round anyways.
Makes sense to me. And we do see the Bruiser.
This is I guess it probably gets him ahead.
This is what, 11 plus 2 Thrives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we've still got to play the Adalia, but
It's okay. Could he just get away with playing the Vanguard? Is that even worth it?
would be Vanguard and Leader charge for the Frost.
Yeah. Sure.
I don't know, maybe. But let's see. You have to.
I mean, you're getting a Neuromancy back, so you can always get like reinforcements if you wanted to keep the Vanguard. But I mean, being able to copy a Ballista or something is still pretty good value.
Sure, there's also another Vanguard in this deck.
Yeah, so you could draw into it.
Yeah. So like you draw one of Caravan Vanguard or reinforcements, and a Nero could potentially get you the other.
Does decide to go for a Dahlia, play it safe, I guess. Alright. So now we're going to a pretty short round 3 with 1 overwhelming hunger charge and 3 uprising charges. eiSloth still has Detloff, Osril, Egern, Consumes, I guess, and Wrath in deck.
But he is a card down.
But he is a card down, and we've got Oneiromancy coming back for Shaggy.
Not the best draws on either side.
No.
Ah, there's the Osril.
There's the Osril.
Osril currently consuming Goliath.
Baron sliding into the DMs.
And yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
He knows about the
Sorry,
Neuromancy. He knows there's the Baron access. That game is
Yeah.
deterministically locked.
Yep. That's gonna be a swift forfeit from eiSloth. Now going into game number 3 with Shaggy up 2-0. Shaggy now needs to pull out a win with his strategic withdrawal deck on red, blue, red against eiSloth needing a win with all 3 of his decks still.
Yeah, while we're waiting, we can take a look at this strategic withdrawal list. He's got
the double amnesty one.
yeah. Double Amnesty playing a lot of top end cards. As far as cards that cost 10 or more, we've got Ball, Usurper, Vincent, Brothans, Ramen, and Joachim. And we are hopping into this game as soon as both players are ready up. I said, as soon as both players ready up. There we go.
There is but one punishment for traitors.
So you've got the Nilfgaard Mirror. Going to very carefully press the F4 key. Flip the board around.
Alright, approach from the left, sweep in, and F4. For those who don't get what we're talking about, because this version is in beta, there appears to be a crash that happens when you hit F5.
Intentional crash, though. It's not. This is a debug feature.
It is an early exit thing.
Yeah. It is like all caps in the caster's document. Do not press F5 without first talking to Usui or Shadowplay. Will break everything and cause us to have to remake the entire tournament.
Yeah. It is a dangerous key.
It's a very dangerous key. Anyway, we are off to round 1 of Game 3. eiSloth on blue coin, leading with Impera Enforcers.
In a Nilfgaard Mirror.
Presumably Shaggy, just takes this Joust. And eiSloth still has Magna Division, which might be met with another Joust. And then we've got Nilfgaard Proactivity. Good ol' Nilfgaard Proactivity.
Yep. Here comes our best friend, Joust number 2.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Alright, we're going to see a proactive Dead Poison.
Better than we saw yesterday. This one plays for 4 points.
That's true. I imagine we see like... Okay, so... If we see Crossbowman come down, it plays into Amnesty, but it also sets up Amnesty.
Is eiSloth Devotion?
I don't think that would...
Well, because the Amnesty would grow the Crossbowman. Yeah, you just mean Amnesty on the Jin? Sure.
Yep.
A little less good of an Amnesty, but yeah.
But an Amnesty... nonetheless. And now we are just going to see the Amnesty trade. The trick is that Shaggy's got a second one. But, yeah, it actually led into a pretty good Dythman Arbalest.
It gets spying!
Shaggy's hand actually looking a little more awkward than one would expect.
Yeah, yet again, the player with the awkward proactivity ends up just having enough to do. Shaggy could play golds, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
I mean, if he plays like Brothans here or something, there's definitely a consideration for eiSloth to just invo that. And having 2 Brothans is like pretty lit. Nope, we're gonna see the very low commitment Alba Spearman.
Just plays bronzes.
So what's the call here, eiSloth? We throwing away a random poison? We digging for bribery?
And yeah. Well, the bribery is not the most important thing. There is no skeleton in this list. But
wow. What a bribery.
He is going for it, and he gets the Brothans.
He had a choice of Brothans or Vincent. Man, I bet he's kind of regretting playing it now. Just like, wait, I could have had this later?
Well, this should secure him round 1.
Yeah.
Can't imagine Shaggy wants to trade into a bribery that was that good.
I'm just thinking if Shaggy has enough tempo if he were to invo the Brothans.
True.
His own Brothans would be
I
worth
mean 13.
not enough. Yeah.
There's no easy way to do that.
Well, and that is probably the round, folks.
Well, he's thinking. Might just be doing math, but maybe he's got a line in mind. Yeah.
No, he
it's out.
does end up taking the.
eiSloth winning round 1 after playing the proactive Fangs of the Empire.
You know, he's just poisoning it before he knew who he was poisoning.
Yeah, yeah.
eiSloth drawing absolute garbage, and Shaggy drawing Masquerade Ball.
One of these hands is better than the other.
And he rolls into his Roderick, which is pointing to an option between Ramon, Vincent, and Cupbearer.
Wow.
Whew. This will be an interesting push if it happens.
So on one hand, if eiSloth is to dry pass, okay, this is a
Oh, this is not gonna go well. This is how you get blown out by Brothans.
yikes.
Excuse me while I brick your Magni and get my own, and also have an assimilate engine.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
or at least
Brothans
that's
gets
what I'm
invoed and
picturing.
eiSloth gets another Brothans,
But also loses a card.
yeah. Just this quality sitting in Shaggy's hand.
Does seem that he is in fact going for the Brothans.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of too good to resist.
It's yeah.
Takes the Joust immediately to shut down his opponent's Magna division. Now, kind of curious what Shaggy does here. All of these plays seem a little too committal.
Yeah, that
Maybe he
is the
just plays
downside
the
to having an
Enforcer?
all-gold hand. Could play the Enforcer. If he plays the Enforcer, he still has a Crossbowman, 2 Arbalists, and an Enforcers in his deck for the Ramen.
Yeah.
Probably not too worried about bricking that. But yeah, we'll have to see. Do either of these players? No, both these players are Devotion, right? So there's no Bomb Heavers on the other side.
No Heavers. Balls are.
Don't do it. Don't do it. I know you want to finish that with a pun. Don't.
No, that was it. That was everything.
Okay. And we do just see the Ramen come out, so willing to run out his Roderick.
Does invo the Brothans.
Guarantee
so there is a little bit of
Brothans draw.
carryover for eiSloth. However, Shaggy does have invo and Joachim for next round, whereas there's no Joachim in eiSloth's list.
So one thing going into round 3 is that when Shaggy draws from this deck, there are only 2 golds remaining. But when eiSloth draws from his deck, all of his draws can be gold.
That's true. There is, however, a kind of risk. That is that because Shaggy could end up with double last here. No, single last day, I guess. But he does have the possibility, if he's holding his withdrawal, to steal the Usurper tokens from eiSloth.
Ah, yes.
And that could be pretty huge. However, eiSloth really giving him nothing good to invo. Like, his only play left is really to just burn the Joachim now and hope that he doesn't hit an important gold.
Yeah, and I mean, the odds of that happening are pretty low.
Yeah, that's true. There aren't very many important golds left.
Yeah, all the important stuff is in the hand, and we do see the Joachim come down, pulling Tortoise. Okay.
Sure, yeah. Which is perfectly fine. This does also mean that he can potentially invo his own Joachim if he doesn't see anything good, except he just hit his Joachim. Not really sure what that was about.
Not sure. I guess he doesn't want to ping the Magnia because that could be the biggest invo, but yeah. eiSloth just considering what he wants to play next, if he wants to play anything at all. I feel like at this point he's pretty resigned to being down a card.
He
Just
might
deciding
play the
whether he wants to-
Cupbearer just to bluff that he has the second poison.
Yeah. Does this Roderick... The Roderick could potentially be a Vincent.
Yeah. That would be a 20-point Vincent, which would be pretty massive.
That would likely stop him from losing his card. Now, all of these cards in Shaggy's hand are not things that he wants to play.
I mean, if you play Invocation on Joachim, you're probably fine with it, because even if we see the Vincent come down, I think you still have enough tempo just by playing Fergus to stay ahead.
True. How many aristocrats do we continue to have? We have a Vincent in deck. Yeah, we've got plenty. We got Vincent
He's
and
got
General.
Usurper, who becomes an aristocrat next turn.
Yeah, you just gotta find one more if the Fergus is played.
Yeah.
Oh, plus he has the leader, so he can.
He does
proc
invo
his
the Joachim
full
as well.
Masquerade Ball, which is the one card.
Oh, true, yeah. He could just bounce Usurper and do his whole thing.
Oh, yeah, Kim's also an aristocrat, and that just went to the top of his deck. So he is good.
He's fine.
On
He's got tons of
aristocrats.
aristocrats.
Yeah.
So yeah, eiSloth doesn't just take the pass. Puts Shaggy in a pretty strong position,
Yeah.
I think, with both players having an extra gold to throw around, but the card and last say does matter a lot here, especially since Shaggy was able to hold on to leader this round.
Drawing a fawn.
Classic maneuver.
Parrot Enforcers.
Amnesty shows up again. I forgot that there's 2 amnesties.
Yeah.
What a crazy world. eiSloth not hitting the greatest stuff. He's missing his Brothans, Ramon, Usurper, and Masquerade Ball. And can only get one of those with Roderick.
Yeah, well, so to be fair, the Usurper probably just gets yoinked by the opponent's Usurper and leader on Fergus. So the Usurper
would not be great.
Yeah.
Hitting Masquerade Ball, Brothans, or Ramon would have been nice though.
Any of those other cards, though, all seem pretty important.
Shaggy does decide to kick the Amnesty, figuring that he's probably not going to get a great target for it this time.
Pleasures come as darkness falls.
Ooh, Thirsty Dame, huh? Which gets poisoned. Perhaps to be the eventual Vincent Van Morlehem target.
Takes the bleed, gets the boost on the Dame. Holding on to this Enforcers. As long as the Enforcers comes down before the onslaught of spying units, it's all fine. But yeah, this is not looking great for our hero looking for the reverse sweep.
Was I supposed to shake this? There's a little thing on the bottle that says shake well. Like, okay. Well, I
There's a
didn't.
tense game going on, Johaggis. We're in
Sorry,
game
man.
3. The critical 3rd round.
Got distracted.
For
I'm
the
very tired.
elimination of eiSloth.
Oh man, potentially. Alright, we do find Usurper, Emperor, and Brothans. Oh no! Alright, he's just leaving it there though. He does know that is absolutely death if he
Yeah,
goes
but
back.
it's not gonna matter, right?
Also, if this Joachim rolls into Vincent, you're just even more dead.
Because he just goes Enforcers into Joachim, and then there's no way to give Spying and kill the Fergus. So he always gets to yoink back the operatives.
Yep. It's true.
And like, sure, the Joachim gets Vincented down, but that seems less important than the 12-point swing on your Usurper.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, even just takes the Vincent now, yeah.
Right. Maybe hoping he can, like, kill Shaggy's Usurper or something, and hopes that he doesn't just play Joachim right now. I mean, you've got. I'm sure both players are aware of this line, and with strategic withdrawal, there's just actually nothing that can be done
Mm-hmm.
unless you just leave the operatives on your opponent's side. In which case,
I mean,
cool.
at that point,
That's fine. You haven't changed anything.
Chat's saying Shaggy doesn't have double essay, but you just leave the Fergus in play, and then leader the Fergus play the Usurper, and you get to play Usurper and the second Fergus in the same turn.
You could also just like, perhaps even better than that, just leave Usurper in play. I mean, is there anything that actually kills it now?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of different things you can do, especially now with the Vincent gone.
There's a lot of ways that eiSloth loses, and not so many that he wins.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he actually chose to just bounce the Roderick to guarantee the Vincent. Who cares about Fergus Usurper? He can literally just kill Usurper, and that's just game. 24-point difference with the 2 high impact cards still in Shaggy's hand.
He's gonna play it out, but I'm pretty sure he's just dead on board. Yeah, copying operative, the writing's on the wall, he knows it's over.
He's just like, anyways, here's a meme. Yes, yoink more things, please.
eiSloth getting eliminated against the Shaggy Nuts.
This was a pretty brutal ending to this match.
Shaggy did in fact have the nuts.
Nice.
Give me my son.
Trinet, don't make that pun. 1C3. That's not how names work. But, yep, alright. Well, that is pretty decisive.
Yeah, that game was not close in the end.
No. As a moderate to large yikes, let's say.
Balls of steel said in chat.
Jounded?
It's chat. They
fair.
don't think too hard about it. Okay, what's going on in caster chat? Because now it's gonna get weird, right? Because we've got desynced brackets, we got winners bracket going and losers bracket going.
Are you down to do another one right now? I think I've got another one before I have to take like a slightly longer break.
Yeah, I'm good with just a quick 2-minute break. If there's another game ready to go.
Cool.
Okay, we're gonna swap over to the break screen, and I will be right back. Hope you guys stick around for the next game, which should be getting started soon.
Yeah. I think there are probably games that are about to be available, if not any that are available right at this moment.